Okay, so this is the tutorial number 2. It's for sequencer. Okay, so let's get started. Um, let me. So this is the basics of the sequencer. First of all, the sequencer is an 8-step sequencer, but it has a full control over 16 steps. And one pattern can have up to 4 pages, that means 32 or 64 steps. And the one tone can have up to 8 patterns. And the big feature of the sequencer is that it has modifiers. The modifiers is basically you can modify the pattern data without breaking the pattern data. Also, you can apply the modifiers permanently by combination of modifiers, and applying modifiers makes very flexible and very easy to generate the unexpected result. Also, other important thing is it controls looper. In order to go sequencer page, press play button after the boot, and then you will see this mode. This is the on-off mode. This is a basic sub-mode of the sequencer. And you can go other mode by pressing shift and the number of buttons. And in the most of the sequencer pages, you will see the circles, the 8 circles. Those circles corresponds to the plain data of the pattern. Let me explain about the indicators. So if the circle is blank, it means there is no trigger to make the sound. But and then if the left half circle is filled, that means 16th note, and the other half is blank. So actually 16 notes and 8th note. And if the right half of the circle is filled, then that means second half of 16th step will be triggered. And if it's full circle, that means a 16th note. If it's a striped circle, and then that means a triplet. If it's a striped square shape, that means 1/32 note. Okay, so let's make a simple pattern. Let me load some tone. So I just loaded the tone, and it sounds like this. The first thing you're gonna do will be setting the tempo. In order to set the tempo, press shift and sequencer play. So let's set it to 138. And in order to start the sequencer play, hit the sequencer play button. There is no sound. So in order to activate the step in the on-off sub mode, press one of the 8 button. Or you can press multiple buttons at the same time. And when you press buttons, then it toggles. But if you press the button and turn the knob, it changes the indicator. So next, what I do is go to the config mode. To go to config mode, press shift and this button. It says config, CFG config, and let's set the key. So the scale. So the default is a chromatic scale. That means everything. But it's very useful limit the scale, because when you apply modifiers, it won't go out of scale if you set the scale. So let's set it to pentatonic, major pentatonic or minor pentatonic. I just set it to minor pentatonic, and key is maybe D sharp or E flat. You may want to change some basic parameters. For example, if you want to change the tune, I mean the pitch of the steps, go this page, digital mode, shift and press tune, and then press button, and turn the knob. If you have an external MIDI keyboard, you can press button and play any key in the MIDI keyboard. You don't need to turn the dial. So let's do this. This part is configured to the quad voice mode, so it has 4 voices. So if I press multiple note by the external MIDI keyboard, you can set the chord if you want. Okay, and let's change the rhythm. You can also change gate length. If I go this mode, width means gate length. So okay, so let's extend the length of the pattern. So default is 8, and I just extend it to 32. And then if you see here, the line gets longer as I turn the dial. And so I just set to 32, the maximum, and I have 4 pages. In order to moving between pages, press sequencer play, and left and left or right key. You can see this very small cursor is moving. And so the other pages are currently blank. And in order to copy the pattern between pages, press sequencer play and the pattern you are in. And then press right or left. Then copy pages. So now so just the first page was copied to all other pages. So let's explore. Let's try some modifiers. Okay, to go modifier page, press Shift and modify, and then you can apply a bunch of modifier here. Maybe the easy one is transpose. And another one is with shift. That means adding offset to the gate length. And here's a randomness. And the next one is a arpeggiator. And so one quick tips of the arpeggiator. The arpeggiator gonna follow the scale you set. So this case, it's gonna follow minor pentatonic. Okay, the last two parameters is a kind of combination. One defines the rewind period. The next one defines rewind steps. So if I set the rewind period as 4 and the rewind steps to 3, then it's gonna be every 4 steps rewind back to 3 steps. So let's set let's play. So you can see every 4 steps, it goes back to 3 steps. And the last one is actually this is the first one, but the bottom one is for the pattern shuffle. Pattern shuffle, it's gonna swap the playing order in the pattern. So for example, if I set this to 1, then let me set the shorter pattern. It's easier to understand. So let's go modifier, and then the shuffle is 1. Okay, let me try one more time. So the pattern 1 I'm gonna play step 4, 5, 6, 7, then 1, 2, 3, 4. Then pattern 2 is pattern 2 is 2, 1, 4, 3, and then 6, 5, 8, 7. Actually, you don't need to remember this. at all. You can just play with it and then get the unexpected result. So changing this parameter randomly is one of my favorite things to do. So let's go back the step count to 32 and then do some modification. Let's do something that I don't know. Okay, so let's move to pattern 2 and do something simple. Just activate the first step, and sorry, I need to set the tempo and make sure it has the same scale, minor pentatonic, and then D sharp, and then let's set this to, let's do okay, and let's apply some modifier here. Rewind period 1, and the step go back to 1. Then so it just repeat the first step, and let's apply it. In order to apply modifier, press button 8, and then it's gonna ask apply modifiers. You can apply the modifiers to all of the steps, but you can unselect steps if you press multiple buttons here. And basically this it won't apply to other pages, so you need to apply 4 times if you want to apply the same modifier to all of pages. But right now I only have 1 page, so I just hit apply modifier, and you also ask you want to reset the modifiers or not. Normally you want to reset the modifiers, otherwise the modifiers will be applied on top of applied pattern later, so you will be confused. So just reset the modifiers here. Now it's applied, so the modifiers were reset, but it applies to the pattern. Okay, the other thing would be useful is go to the configuration page, And then there is a setting to make difference of velocity for each step. So set the lower side of velocity, let's say 80, and the velocity period set to, oh, okay, so maybe just start. And then set the velocity period to 1.5. So you can get a interesting beat very easily. You can also set the velocity, the offset of the accent steps. Yeah, then we got the we can get the two interesting pattern. So I'm not sure how it sounds if I record the pattern I made at the same time, but let's try it. Okay, move to pattern 2. Okay, it's better than I thought. So let's record it together to the same track. I'm gonna save the tracks for percussions. Okay, so let's move on to some percussions. So I'm gonna switch to bucket 2, and then I can keep the first preset I made. Then go to system, and then load something. Just I randomly enabled the pattern, I mean the step. Okay. Okay. I think it's already good, kind of. So this case, is it the sequence? Oh, maybe I can even stay with the basic length of the pattern and then just copy out. So to copy the pattern, press sequencer play and hit the button, I mean the pattern you're in, and then turn the dial and then select the destination. So copy 1, 2, 2, copied. And then maybe I can do this, the pattern to other filling pattern. So just maybe hit hard. So let's record it to track 2. Okay, so add some basic pattern. Okay. And then enjoy the play.